welcome back to my channel. I apologize for not having any recent updates or any recent uploads. I just got back from a family funeral this weekend, so I've decided to read some fun wedding slash bridal slash family drama Reddit stories today with you guys. Just something that's a little bit more lighthearted, something that's a little bit more fun and different for me. So get yourself a drink. This is what I have chosen, of course, and sit back and get comfortable. Or if you are being productive and doing laundry, then I applaud you. These are videos that I really like to listen to and watch, so I hope this is something that you guys enjoy. Off with a short one here that I just ran into. This one was reposted to our wedding shaming, but originally was posted to r/mildly infuriating. It's titled Sister's Wedding from buff_froggy from 9 days ago. My sister has just announced her wedding date to the family. Invites not sent yet. Unfortunately, she just so happened to choose the same day as my birthday. Fortunately, I had not made any big plans since it isn't a milestone birthday. This has 20 upvotes and 63 comments on it. Our top comment here says, "Wasn't this the premise of 16 Candles?" And then other people go in to ask, "How old are you? It's really not that big of a deal." Let me see this one comment from Whoop-de-Doo from 5 days ago. "My sister got married 31 years ago on my birthday. Every year we enjoy wishing each other happy anniversary/birthday. It's nice to share. Also, unbeknownst to me, she arranged for a miniature cake for me all done up and professionally iced in a similar style to her much bigger wedding cake. At a certain point, she and her husband ushered me over to the side for a quick family chat. The cake was produced and my family sang happy birthday. It didn't take away from the celebration. Not that she cared if it did." I don't know. I feel like it's strange. I feel like out of all the days in the year, you're gonna pick your sibling's birthday. I don't know. I've had people do this in my family too, and they really don't have a problem with it. So I don't know. Maybe, I guess I would just want more of like a sentimental day between like my partner and I, not something that's like already belongs to somebody. I don't know. Or unless it's just like the perfect day, the venue worked out, you have to get married here, you want to get married in the summer, and it just happens to fall on someone's birthday. I mean, that's, another circumstance. But I see, especially too, if you have like one sibling, you're going to get married on their birthday. I don't know. I would want to be asked, at least. I would say, like, I'd be honored. I don't think I would care if it was my birthday, though. I just wouldn't want to take away from somebody else's birthday and be like, actually, today's about me. It's not about your birthday. Let me know what you think about that. On to the next one. Our next one is going to be from r/wedding shaming from 16 days ago. It was posted by Alexia Grace, titled "Family Member is Furious We Stole Her Wedding Month. She didn't have anything booked or a specific date identified and didn't speak up until now. I'm at a loss and just wanted to check if I missed something. If I missed some major wedding planning etiquette, I'll own up to it. But I really don't think I did, ? Cousin got engaged September of 2024. We got engaged May of 2025. We had a conversation with her about wedding stuff shortly after we got engaged, and she mentioned wanting to get married around March or April 2026, with no confirmed plans or specific date. Soon after, my fiance and I determined we wanted to get married around the same time frame for nicer weather and to avoid price increases. Also, I personally didn't want to be engaged longer than a year. Where we live is extremely hot in the summer, so spring and fall are definitely the wedding seasons. We let them know this and asked if they had chosen a specific date. They still hadn't and didn't say anything about us planning for that time of year. I didn't see any issues getting married around the same months, as long as it wasn't the same exact weekend. I thought this was normal? ? I really thought it would be nice to celebrate around the same time and go through the milestones together. Silly me. They mentioned touring a couple venues but didn't love them and hadn't booked anything. We mentioned our potential dates to them before booking. We shared with them when we visited venues. They didn't raise any issues. In October, we booked a venue for late April 2026 and told them. Since then, we've hung out many times and she seemed completely normal and we got along. Recently, we were asking family for addresses for save the dates, and she became radio silent and wouldn't fill out the form. She would text us about other stuff like nothing was wrong, which was odd. We sent her and her fiance several reminders about the address form, and still nothing. After a few weeks of this, we told her it was rude and confusing to be completely unresponsive about the address request. She then blew up at us and told us it's bizarre and completely rude to have booked their wedding month and that we basically ruined all of their wedding plans. To be clear, this is 2.5 months after we booked our date and told her. To my knowledge, they still haven't booked anything or even confirmed a specific date that they want. She said there's no way our family from across the state could make it to both ours and hers, and we knew that and did it on purpose, and that we were stealing their anniversary. She said it's common sense and everyone knows to not book the same month as someone else is planning in the same family, and can't believe she even had to say anything. I truly have never heard that in my life. I've been a bridesmaid 4 times. I've attended weddings that were close to each other and never thought anything of it. It's not a destination wedding. Some family members will have to drive like 7 hours if they want to come, but many are local. I feel completely blindsided. I even checked past text to see what her response was when we first told her the date, and she had just said, cool, and said she was thinking of a courthouse wedding weeks before that. I told her she could have expressed this sooner, and I don't understand how she expected us to know how she felt when she never said anything. If she had mentioned something sooner, we could have considered a different date, but now we've paid all the deposits and stuff. She proceeded to call us a-holes, insist that it was obvious / common sense, say we know what we did, imply that we screwed her over intentionally, and choosing the date wasn't about the weather. I told her it really had nothing to do with her and it was weird to make our wedding about her, but she's not having it. I pointed out that when we booked our date, they had already been engaged for a year, and she felt so strongly about the date, which is already quite soon, then she should have booked something or told us one specific date to avoid. I don't understand feeling such strong ownership over an entire month when nothing was booked, and it's common for a lot of people to get married in the spring. I think our relationship with her is suddenly over. Am I crazy? An update. We had some back and forth over text. I reminded her she never actually had any date reserved, and she should have said something early on if it bothered her, which is correct, I agree. She told us to, quote, stop harassing her, in quotes, LOL, I definitely wasn't, and she, quote, already explained the common sense thing and you're still being a-holes, and to, quote, leave her alone. I sent her the screenshot of when we texted her the date, and all she said was, cool, I might do something on this other date. So there's no way for us to have known she was secretly upset. She made it clear she doesn't want to come. I removed her from the guest list and blocked her. I'm pretty sure she blocked me too. I'm frustrated and a little sad, but I do not need someone causing drama and saying lies about me in my life. Who was this? This was her cousin. Let me check. Yes, her cousin. Let me see. Top comment 16 days ago from that random fiend. People are so weird about this stuff. My cousins, who are siblings, got married 2 weeks apart. We went to both weddings. Some people only went to one. Some people who were invited to one because there was a lot of us and no one was weird about it. Weddings make people go crazy. That has 277 upvotes. Another one further down from Fan of Polka Dot says, I think she is / was blame shifting. My first guess would be that her fiance wasn't ready to set the date. It could be that, or her parents or in-laws had issues with possible dates, or the funding, as far as like deposits, for her wedding were not forthcoming, is what that one says. And that one has 75 upvotes. I don't think it's fair. It feels like putting a boundary on something that nobody even knew existed. If you are very strongly feeling about like it might be this day or this day, that's something that needs to be voiced. People cannot read your mind, and I know this girl did not mean to hurt anybody's feelings by doing this. On to the next one. Okay, this next one is a little bit long, so it's probably going to be our last one for today. This one is coming from r/wedding shaming from 22 days ago from automatic_pick_227. Officiant used ChatGPT and effed up the ceremony. Y'all hang on for this one. I feel like it's going to be bad. Hey, this is my first time posting here, so forgive me if this doesn't fit the vibe. Plus, any spelling errors or grammar errors, literally everything else in the wedding went well, save for the ceremony itself. So, for this story, you're going to need to know that I'm an amateur pianist and also a close family member of the bride. So I was asked to play a song dedicated to the bride and groom at the ceremony. This would be all well and good if not for who I am shaming today, the officiant. This wedding has been being planned for months. The officiant was selected by the church, but was given a list of how things were to go in the wedding. I repeat, in all caps, She was told what was going to happen. We even gave out little pamphlets at the beginning of the event with what we were doing. So the first part of the wedding goes pretty well. Everyone walks in, they're stunning, everyone is smiling. Then comes the officiant. She was meant to welcome everyone before one of our family members of the groom came up to do an opening prayer. But by now, you should know that's not what happened. She starts to talk about the happy couple and calls the groom the wrong name. Oh no. Okay, whatever. He has kind of a unique name, so it happens. But the name that she calls him, I kid you not, is the name of the bride's ex-husband. Yikes. I will say at least the ex-husband's name is technically in the groom's name, but absolutely no one refers to him as that. Imagine your name Gilbert, but everyone calls you Gil and Bert. Just so happens to be the name of your wife's ex-husband. Anyways, we try to quietly correct her, but she doesn't seem to hear us. Then she makes the mistake again. The groom is getting mad. We correct her at more of a speaking volume. Y'all, she does this 3 times in caps. The third time, what had to be the most of the wedding guests yelled out the correct name. We think the worst of it is over, but no, it's just begun. As I'm listening to what she's saying, I'm picking up on a lot of AI language. And since I could kind of see the book she was reading from where I was sitting, I could see that some of the pages were written by hand while others were printed out. She started giving us a history lesson about the place they were getting married at for some point during the speech. And at the point, I knew it was ChatGPT. I was more or less, whatever, it's just the welcome. The prayer will be soon, and then we can put this behind us. Yeah, the prayer never came. She skipped right to the vows. Literally everything we practiced went out the window. The bride is trying so hard to calm the groom down, but it's clear she's also pissed and just attempting to salvage this. They do their vows and they're beautiful, no complaints, but as they're like midway through, I am approached from behind and told, "You're up after the vows. Just try to get up on the stage as quickly as possible so that she can't start talking again." What a day to be the main source of entertainment. I try my best to do that, but I'm literally shaking with anxiety since I didn't have any time to cool my nerves beforehand. I effed up like 8 ways to Sunday while playing, but it didn't seem like anyone noticed since people still came up and complimented me after. That or they were just nice enough to not to mention it. And now I'm like, phew, okay, time for all the other family members to do their scripture readings, we practice, and then we're done. You already know that didn't happen. She skips all the way to the exchange of the rings, the second to last thing on the program. It's so bad. The bride is the one that looks like she's about to explode now, but the groom is comforting her. We're able to finally make it through, but of course, everyone is upset, especially the bride and the groom. Some family members that were meant to do readings and prayers are complaining or crying a little. Oh no. And yeah, the officiant was nowhere to be seen once the ceremony concluded. Pretty sure I didn't even see her walk out. But knowing the couple, I'm 120% sure the bride or groom or both tore into her. That's so bad. That makes me feel awful for their wedding. You know, they're just standing up there trying to enjoy it and it's not going how it's supposed to go. And you're just standing there trying to be quiet and everybody's watching. And man, I could just imagine. This one has 1.4K upvotes. Top comment on here 21 days ago is from Faithless One 423. Wow, honestly, I would have stopped the wedding in that bride and groom's position. Literally just told her to shut the F up and called the scripture readers myself. Really sorry that it messed you up too. And that has 1,000 upvotes. Another comment from JPlenty24 says, I don't understand why someone just didn't interrupt her and take her into the hallway and tell her to shut up and just stand there being quiet until it's time to exchange the rings and just take over. It would have been less awkward than what took place, and at least the bride and groom would have had things run smooth after, with 130 upvotes. I feel like if you haven't been married or you haven't been in that situation of where you and your partner are standing up there like holding hands, everyone's watching you, I couldn't imagine like saying anything. I also feel like I kind of blacked out during our ceremony, so I just really couldn't imagine like correcting somebody. If it was just like going bad, I would have been like the bride in this situation, like my mom could probably tell just like by my face, or like my best friend behind me could probably tell that I was upset, but I probably wouldn't have said anything either. That makes me feel so horrible because I know they had a vision for what it was supposed to look like, and I know it did not end up that way. So to that bride, I'm so sorry. All right, y'all, that's going to conclude our video for today. If you stuck around this long, I really appreciate it. If you wouldn't mind liking and possibly subscribing. If you have any funny wedding stories of your own, please leave them down in the comments below. Again, I really appreciate all of your support on my first video here on the channel. If you want to go ahead and check that one out, it will be down below. And again, just thank you so much, and I hope you have a great week.